Paradise Hill, the crown jewel of Tony Beets' mining empire, faced an unprecedented challenge when Tony and his wife Minnie decided to take a rare week-long vacation to Sweden. For the first time in a long while, the patriarch left the operation under the stewardship of his son Mike, daughter Monica, and nephew Mike. With high stakes and ambitious targets to meet, the week was anything but smooth sailing, as internal conflicts threatened to derail progress. Tony, known for his relentless work ethic, had clear expectations. 3 wash plants were to be fully operational by the time he returned. While his absence offered a test of trust for his family, it also exposed the friction that can arise when strong personalities clash under pressure. His son Mike, determined to prove his worth, and his nephew Mike, equally resolute, were at the center of a tense week filled with disagreements over leadership and execution. The Beets family has always thrived under Tony's watchful eye, with his hands-on leadership guiding operations. However, this time was different. Tony's eldest son and chief mechanic, Kevin, was unavailable, busy managing his own claim. This left cousin Mike to step in and fill Kevin's shoes, a significant responsibility given the scale of the operation. Cousin Mike was eager to rise to the occasion, stating, "Tony left, and I want to show him that I can do the job." Confident in his abilities, he ventured to Paradise Hill to assist son Mike with the critical task of getting the trommel sluicing. But the challenges of aligning their approaches soon became apparent, setting the stage for conflict. The first major obstacle came with reinstalling the distributor box, a critical component that directs gold-rich material into the sluice runs. After maintenance, the sluice runs had shifted, requiring precise leveling to ensure efficient operation. Son Mike and cousin Mike had differing opinions on how to approach the task, with each convinced their method was the right one. Cousin Mike proposed using a 50-ton crane to lift the sluice runs and insert wooden blocks beneath to restore proper alignment. "If it's not flat, we have to level it," he explained. "Otherwise, it'll be a nightmare." However, son Mike was less than enthusiastic, questioning the pace and practicality of the plan. The clash of ideas slowed progress, and tensions simmered as the crew worked to execute cousin Mike's strategy. The process was slow and tedious, requiring meticulous adjustments to ensure the sluice runs were perfectly level. Monica, caught in the middle, tried to mediate but quickly realized that intervening would only escalate the situation. "Getting involved won't do any good," she remarked, stepping back to let the Mikes resolve their differences. As the sluice runs were finally leveled, the team moved on to install the distributor box, a 1.5-ton piece of equipment that had to be positioned with absolute precision. Cousin Mike operated the crane with care, but the process was nerve-wracking. Every inch mattered, as misalignment could result in costly leaks of gold-rich material. Despite successfully securing the distributor box, the friction between the two Mikes remained. Disagreements over the sequence of tasks and overall strategy left both frustrated. When two people are in charge and they have different ideas, it slows everything down, son Mike admitted, visibly irritated by the inefficiencies. Cousin Mike, equally frustrated, decided he had had enough and returned to Indian River to check on his own site and the shaker deck. His departure left son Mike and Monica to handle the remainder of the work at Paradise Hill, a daunting task given the high expectations set by their father. The week highlighted the immense pressure on Tony's children and nephew to maintain the family's legacy. Tony has always trusted his kids to step up in his absence, but this time, the added responsibility of managing without Kevin or Tony revealed the cracks in their teamwork. For Monica, the role of peacemaker has always been her strength, but even she struggled to navigate the escalating tensions. Meanwhile, son Mike, determined to prove himself capable of running the operation, found himself frustrated by the lack of unity. By the end of the week, the trommel was finally operational, and the team was back on track to hit their ambitious 5,000-ounce gold target for the season. However, the internal conflicts served as a stark reminder of the challenges of leadership and teamwork in a high-stakes environment. Reflecting on the experience, son Mike acknowledged the need for better collaboration moving forward. "If we're going to hit our goal, we need to stop messing around and focus on the work. Otherwise, it's all wasted effort, he said. Life on the Beets family's mining claims is anything but predictable, and this week was no exception. With Tony Beets away on a rare vacation, the responsibility to keep the gold flowing fell squarely on the shoulders of his son Mike and cousin Mike. While each tackled their respective challenges at Paradise Hill and Indian River, their efforts revealed the grit and determination required to meet the family's sky-high expectations. At Indian River, a shaker deck revival. Cousin Mike, operating at Indian River, faced the monumental task of reviving the shaker deck, which had been offline for weeks following its relocation. The move had caused severe damage to the plant's critical components, including the conveyor belt and feeder. For a mine relying on heavy machinery, downtime is the ultimate enemy, and this project was no exception. "We've done a lot of repairs, and now it's time to see if she'll do the job," Mike stated, his voice heavy with the weight of responsibility. Welding damaged sections and carefully reassembling the plant required hours of precision work. But with the repairs complete, it was time for the real test, running dirt through the machine. "Okay, let's fire this baby up." Mike rallied his team. With bated breath, the shaker deck roared back to life, feeding dirt steadily into the sluice runs. "Seems to be running good now," he said, visibly relieved. "I think Tony will be pretty happy that we've got another plant up and going. Hopefully, we'll start seeing some gold soon." But the clock was ticking. Tony expected the shaker deck to work in tandem with the sluicer lot within 2 days. The added pressure pushed Mike to ensure every detail was perfect, leaving little room for error. At Paradise Hill, the trommel troubles. While cousin Mike celebrated a hard-earned victory, son Mike was neck-deep in problems of his own at Paradise Hill. His mission, to get the trommel operational before Tony returned. However, the task proved to be more complex than anticipated. A misaligned chute connecting the sluice box to the trommel brought progress to a standstill. Realigning it required not just patience but also the coordination of welding, precise crane work, and hours of troubleshooting. With each delay, frustrations mounted. "I really want to get this done before my dad shows back up," Mike admitted. "But there's always something slowing us down." After painstaking adjustments, the team secured the distributor, re-leveled the sluice box, and welded the chute back into place. But just as one problem was solved, another arose: the water pump. Vital for feeding water from Hunker Creek to wash the pay dirt, the pump's failure was a major setback. Mike's attempts to start the pump were futile, and it wasn't long before the culprit was identified: a dead battery. "This is so surprising," Mike said, exasperated. "I'm sick and tired of these constant delays. I just want to get this plant sluicing." Tony's return, a mixed bag of progress. When Tony returned from his trip, he immediately assessed the state of operations. Cousin Mike's success with the shaker deck brought some relief, but at Paradise Hill, the trommel's incomplete status was a sore spot. "How's it going, Mike?" Tony asked his son, his tone a mix of curiosity and expectation. Mike reported the progress: "We've got the distributor in place, the sluice box re-leveled, and the chute re-welded. But I'm still having issues with the pump." Tony's response was characteristically blunt. "That trommel had to run. You've been here long enough to figure it out. If you can't, it'll never get done." Though the words stung, they fueled Mike's resolve. Determined not to let his father down, he vowed to overcome the final hurdle. The road ahead: 2 plants down, 1 to go. With 2 operational plants, Indian River's shaker deck and Paradise Hill sluicer lot, the Beets crew was inching closer to their season's ambitious 5,000-ounce target. But the trommel's success remains critical to achieving their goal. Son Mike and cousin Mike's parallel struggles highlight the immense challenges of running a mining operation in the unforgiving Klondike. Every repair and delay is a reminder of the pressure that comes with chasing gold in one of the world's harshest environments. As the team presses forward, their resilience will be tested again and again. But if there's one thing the Beets crew has proven time and again, it's that they won't back down, not until the gold is in the pan. While cousin Mike's efforts brought in impressive returns, son Mike faced setbacks, leaving him empty-handed despite his best efforts. Over at Indian River, cousin Mike's revival of the shaker deck proved to be a significant win for the team. After running for 2 days, the plant delivered a solid yield of 79.8 ounces of gold, valued at nearly $200,000. That's not bad for a short run, someone commented as the gold was weighed, acknowledging the hard work that went into bringing the plant back online. But the real star of the week was the sluice lot, which had been running all week at full capacity. The crew gathered eagerly as its hull was weighed, a jaw-dropping 276.45 ounces, worth over $690,000. The combined efforts from both plants brought Tony Beets' season total to 1,067 ounces, a figure that shows significant progress but leaves room for improvement. "Not bad," Tony said, clearly encouraged by the results. "But we need more weeks like this." His optimism was infectious, energizing the team to keep pushing forward. While cousin Mike celebrated his success, things were far more challenging for son Mike at Paradise Hill. Tasked with getting the trommel operational, his week was defined by frustration and setbacks. Despite hours of hard work and countless adjustments, the plant remained idle during the crucial trial period. All eyes turned to Mike, who had promised progress but couldn't deliver gold to add to the week's total. The absence of results was a harsh blow for the young miner, who remains determined to prove himself in the face of mounting pressure. "I'll get it running," Mike insisted. His words were filled with resolve, but the clock is ticking as the team pushes toward their ambitious season goal.